I'm going to show you now how to pick up stitches in a specific area on a piece of work that you have already knit. So in this 7 inches, let's pretend that we only need to pick up within 5 inches of it. Let's also pretend then that we have to pick up 15 stitches, say. I could start 15, but I might get to 15 and right here and then still have this spot here to pick up. So what I typically do is I break this section down into smaller chunks, and I do that with stitch markers. So what I'll do is, because 15 is easily divisible by 5, I'll find my 5 inches here, and I will mark out 1 inch increments. Then I know that within those 1 inches, I will now need to pick up 3 stitches, so that I will evenly pick up 15 along my 5 inches. So I'm just gonna make sure that we've got everything kind of in the right-ish spot. Okay, I'm gonna close those up. Okay, so I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 smaller sections. I have to pick up 15. So I'm gonna pick up now, I'm gonna evenly pick up 3 within each small section, which is easier to manage than 15 in one big section. So when I'm picking up, I will take my needle and I will find the spot right next to where my end stitch marker is, and I'm going to place my needle right through. I want to make sure that where I'm picking up, I'm not picking up too close to the edge. I want to make sure that I've got like a nice, like firm seam allowance that shapes up, so that you're not creating like a weak attachment seam. Go right through both. So you got both 1 and 2 on top here. You're going to take your yarn that you're going to start creating stitches with, your cut end facing away from you. You're going to loop this around like this, holding both at the same time for that first stitch, otherwise that happens. Bring that new stitch up and through. After that first stitch is formed, you can either create a longer tail for security, but you're going to drop it basically from now on. Now I've got 1 stitch. I'm going to pick up 1 more right in the middle, and then right here. 3 stitches. Now I'm going to pick up 3 within the next zone. Make sure I've got a good amount of seam allowance forming on the top. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to go 3 again in the next zone. 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm going to do another 3 in the next section. 1. Let's see, where is that going to be? We'll go here. 2. And we'll place 1 right here. 3. And next one, last one. 1. Find the hole. 2, and right beside your stitch marker, right underneath your stitch marker. Okay, so let's count our stitches. We should have 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so now I'm going to flip our work. For this one, we're going to do garter stitch. We're going to continue in garter stitch. Sometimes these picked up stitches can get a little tight, so just work through it. Move your stitch markers out of the way. That very first stitch that you picked up is going to be very loose though, because nothing is anchoring it down. You can just pull it, turn your work over, and just start knitting. Whether it's a sleeve you're knitting, you just can keep going with your pattern. We have picked up 15 stitches between 5 inches on our little swatch. All the stitches look nice and even, and it's a nice clean face. And on the back side, you can see there's a little seam allowance happening, which is evenly distributed right across the seam. And that's how you pick up stitches evenly.